Hi, this is Lisa from Low Cooking Rubber Stand. Today I'm going to show you a quick project. I'm going to working on this, and of course it's a short project, but there's a lot of information, and if you need a laugh, watch this tutorial. I guarantee you are going to have a good laugh, maybe pee a little bit when you laugh, because it's something very funny I would like to share with you. So let's start it. I am going to use this safari set. This is a safari animal one, and they come with 5 different images. And I designed this stamp in 2007 when I started my business. So, and when I designed this stamp, I didn't know I was going to have a die cast. So I only have a die cast for this elephant and for this giraffe. But I am slowly discontinue all the old design. So the stamps and the die I'm going to use in this tutorial, I'm going to have a special promotion. So just make sure, basically I just want to get rid of it because too many new stuff keep coming. And but this is a very fun set to play with it, and also there's a story behind, and I'm going to share with you. I guarantee you are going to laugh so bad. And I am going to use leaf set. It's still available. It's called the Leaf 6. It's still available in the online store, but we don't really bring to the show anymore because this is a 2007 design. So the material list we're going to use StazOn. I'm going to use a few Memento color. Of course, you can use the Tin Holes District ink. You can use Rubbernecker's impact and the color fill, but I need a little bit bigger impact this time. The small one still does the job, but I just feel this is like a faster result. We are going to use this MicroGlaze from the JudiKins, and I'm going to explain to you what is this MicroGlaze and glossy paper. So it's very important. Glossy paper, they look like a photo paper, but they are not photo paper. This glossy paper is called crumple paper, and this crumple paper, unfortunately, a few years ago they changed the factory. So the new crumple paper, they are not as good as the old crumple. So they look exactly like a glossy photo paper, but they are different. But today's project, we are going to need glossy paper. We still have some in our warehouse. When this paper discontinue, we purchase all the paper we can find from Canada and US. So we probably have only like 100 packs available. Once when it is finished, we are slowly switch to other brand, but it's not work as good as this one, because this glossy paper, they work well with water-based markers. And if you use a glossy paper, usually you are not able to use any dye-based impact. It has to be the permanent impact. They have special design. I don't know why they changed the factory. I don't know, it's a cost, like a lower cost or something, but I really hope they can bring this paper back. So if you have some old crumple paper, give it a try. If you don't have it, I know the Canon Pro, they are like 10 sheets for $20. They will work, but they are a bit pricey. The Costco Kirkland, they have some kind of glossy photo paper. It kind of work, but it's not as good as compared with this old crumple. So you know what? Give it a try. Try the one you have you have, right? And then it probably will work. If it works, send me a link. Let me know, and I can order them and then offer to all of you. So this one, today's tutorial, we're going to use a glossy paper. I am not sure. I'm 50-50, not sure they were working on the regular cardstock. We're going to try by the end of the tutorial to find out were they working on the regular cardstock or not, but we are going to use a glossy paper. So, and pretty simple, and that's all. And we are going to need one brush. We don't want a fine brush, we want to have some kind of, I don't know, coarse, like those kind of brush. Or if you have a color duster, they will work too. Okay, so, but you need a clean one. I can't find one clean one, so I try to clean as much as I can, so it's okay. It shows the color, but when you dip into the MicroGlaze, they don't really show the color. So I am using these 3 different animals, the hippo, elephant, and the rhino's butts. And then they also come with a giraffe, and they come with a meerkat. So my next tutorial, I'm going to show something else with a giraffe and the meerkat. In this moment, because of these stamps that I haven't used for a long time, my Mirco is actually missing at this moment. I have no idea where it go, but I will find it and I will create some other tutorial to show you with the Mirco and with drop, and then it's a fun project to do. Okay, so I use the 3 butts here and I use the StazOn. I just re-ink my StazOn, and this is how I ink my stamp. Always rub and tap. Okay, and then we are going to stamp. And remember, when you place all your animal, the one have a feet, just make sure have a parallel line. You don't want a cookie image. They have to be standing on the ground, right? Okay, and I'm going to give you a nice firm press. If you have a misty, that's good. I have it, but like a stamp positioner, I have it. If you don't have it, watch tutorial 45. I show you how to make your own with a DVD case or CD case. So with those stamp positioner, it's just helping you to, you know, if sometimes boo-boo happen, that will help you to fix it. But I am the person, I don't really care about boo-boo, like something happened, you know, maybe a lion just bite his ass. So I just fix it, instead of waste my paper and do again. So nobody even know that was a boo over there, right? Okay, and then I'm going to stamp my leaf. So I just, like I say, I rub, tap. I just kind of fill it up, those gap. So you want to stamp first because it's going to take a while to dry. StazOn is much better than the VersaFine. StazOn is actually dry faster, so you can use it any leaf that you have. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly the same stamp image that I use. You know, I'm just teaching you the technique. So if you like to purchase the same stamps, that would be great. Support our business. If you're not, use what you have. You know, this is supposed to be a fun habit. You don't want to, you know, put yourself in the big trouble because you keep buying, right? Okay, we're gonna use the StazOn for the background, and if you have been following my tutorial, you know I don't really stamp the big stamp, like background stamp. I usually just put on top, and that's what it look like. Oh, I forgot to mention, I am using the words background. This words background is just so pretty. It's a definition of the law from the dictionary. It's just pretty with everything. And then I am going to just leave it, let it dry. And then I'm going to just, I think, yeah, that's good enough. So I'm going to just leave it, let it completely dry. And then when you use the StazOn, remember, after a while, you got to clean your stand because they do deposit on the stand. Oh, okay, I forgot to mention, I'm still married because I forgot to bring my ring to wear my ring to my studio, and then a lot of you are so worried that sometimes I don't wear my ring and maybe I'm divorced. No, I'm still married, and this is I just draw with markers. It's not tattoo. Okay, so that's first things. Okay, and then we are going to move on to the next, and then you need to dry a little bit, and then I use these 3 color. So here is the story while we are waiting for this one to dry. I'm going to tell you the story that's it's not still story, it's actually really happened. So I started my business in 2007, and in 2008 I started traveling to expo show, heirloom show, rubber stamp event show, those kind of the convention show. So when this set was still available on site, one time I met a lady, a very pretty girl, probably around like a 30ish, and then she was so excited. She said, "Oh my God, finally I found the access." I said, "What?" He said, "You know, I has been looking for animals behind for a long time." I say, oh great, because I love animal, and then those animal butts is always the view that you see when you go to Zoom, right? And then I said, oh, finally I have somebody who really, you know, like the things that I do too, because usually people, they don't like to see from the behind, they like to see from the front. So I said, oh, great. Are you making this card to somebody who's special? She said, and then she said, yeah. So I thought, and I asked her, I said, oh, okay, because when I designed these stamps, that the purpose is that if you want to make a card to somebody, you forgot their birthday, you can write down, say, sorry, I'm a little bit behind, right? So I thought she was going to make a card to somebody who she forgot the birthday. So she said, yeah, I'm going to make a card for my ex-boyfriend. I say, ex-boyfriend? Ex-boyfriend? And she said, yeah. I say, oh, so did you forget about his birthday? And then he say, no. And I say, oh, so he must be a very nice guy, right? Because it's an ex, he's like not current boyfriend. And then she say, no, I want to make a card for him, and then say, you're an asshole. I say, what? Okay. Great, I'm glad we can help. And then I just can't stop laughing and say, well, that's not the purpose. I say, okay. And I don't know, did she really make a card, send it to her ex-boyfriend. But that was the real things that happened on the show floor. So that's something funny I like to share with you. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. Okay, there's something funny I just discovered. So I think it's pretty dry already. Okay, this is a bad example. Don't testing with your finger, because if they are not dry, that's the perfect way to ruining that work. So don't do that. I just show you don't do that. Okay, so we're going to use I am going to use this brush, and this is the MicroGlaze from JudiKins. I think JudiKins doesn't have a online store, but last time my friend told me they do take order over phone. So if you want to order a jar of this MicroGlaze, just give them a call, and she will be very happy to helping you. So what is a MicroGlaze? MicroGlaze is kind of like from my personal, like a view. I think MicroGlaze is kind of like a Versamark, but they are in the wax foam. So when you apply the color on top, any place covered with a MicroGlaze will be resist. Okay, so let me show you. Like you can see in the back, that white stroke area, that's the MicroGlaze. Okay, so you can create too many different kind of texture, and they dry pretty fast. So you can create some kind of old texture, and it's very easy to work with. This is MicroGlaze. Okay, and then you got to have a Kleenex handy, and I'm going to show you a few different ways to color them, so give you a little bit better comparison. So first, I am going to just dipping some MicroGlaze. The MicroGlaze, you got to be very careful because you don't need a lot, and I'm going to show you why. If you use a lot, what's going to happen? Okay, so you just need to pick a little bit, and then just think of what would you like to do. So I kind of just do 3 strokes, like a pop, 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 like that. Okay, I'm going to just leave it, and then I'm going to grab the other sheet of paper. I'm going to show you what to look like. So I kind of just create some swirling. Okay, and I'm going to put that away, and then I am going to just do 2 stroke horizontal, 2 stroke vertical, and then I am going to just do one more dipping your brush, kind of just like a sweep from outside in, just like that. So I have a 4 piece of paper here with all different stroke, right? And then you can't see anything. Really? You can't see anything? Really? It shows some stroke there. I'm joking. We have to do something. It's like a kind of secret, things. Okay, so after you use a MicroGlaze, you are going to make sure, if you don't use anymore, you're going to just clean, wipe off it with water. Okay, wet cloth. You got to clean it because they are kind of like a wax, right? But they are not going to stick on your brushes. Just make sure you wipe off. Okay, so you don't have to work fast. You can work right after you apply that micro glaze, or you can wait a little bit. So I have a 3 color here. I have at least a memento. This time you want to use something like more juicy, moisture impact. Pink Host Distract is work well. Light color, dark color, it doesn't really matter. So basically one color, except that brown one, I kind of use 2 color because my desert sand is a little bit dry and I found out the color is too light. So the color, we are going to use 804 desert sand, 805 toffee crunch, 600, I don't know, Dimble blue. Okay, and then number 901, London frog. I just realized something today. I say, why they name this one London frog? I know London in England, fish and chips are really popular. Do they have a special frog? That's why they call London frog. And then today I just realized they call London frog. That makes sense. So I thought, okay, they don't have a special frog. Okay, so that's working on the first one. Okay, the first one, I'm sure this MicroGlaze VersaFine dry, and the MicroGlaze doesn't matter is a wet or dry, it all works. And don't worry about it's going to ruining your impact unless you make like a 50 one time. It may be some MicroGlaze is going to stuck on your impact, but the amount you make, I'm sure you're fine. And then we are going to just using this impact, kind of tapping it. Okay, don't worry, you can kind of squeeze a little bit too, it's okay. Don't worry about those impact mark. After you do that, and right away you're going to use Kleenex, kind of clean the surface. See the place I applied that MicroGlaze, it just leaves the dry stroke. So that's a very simple technique, fast and easy, but it looks really artistic. You can actually frame it. That's a piece of artwork, you know. If you try to decorate your house, the most expensive start, when you want to do an interior design, the most expensive start is not furniture, it's actually wall art. They actually cost a lot of money. So this one, see, you just like a stem three of them, and then just find a nice frame and the mount on top. That's beautiful piece of artwork you can give to your friend as a Christmas gift or like a birthday gift, and it's handmade. Okay, let's try the second one, and I have no idea what was the stroke, and then I'm going to use this London frog again. Okay, so tap, tap, tap. Okay, you can kind of squeeze a little bit. Okay. Okay, and then, so this one. So when you want to do this kind of technique, you have to do your StazOn first. Okay, and then your MicroGlaze. If you try to do the MicroGlaze, after you do that, it will work, but the surface is kind of like a cover with a very thin layer of wax. It's a very slippery, so you probably won't be able to get a nice image, but you can do that too. Let's try. Let me think. Yeah, it works. I'm good. Okay, so that will work too, but I prefer to stamping with the StazOn first, and then do the the MicroGlaze and then the impact. But you know what? Do whatever you like. This is a fun project, right? Okay, and let's move the next one. The next one we are going to use. I am going to use it. How to pronounce this? Ding, ding, ding. Deep blue. Well, I'm glad I am, the English is not my first language, but I'm not teaching you English, so I have excuse, to make a mistake. So this is it. Deep blue number 600. So tap, tap, tap. You do whatever you like. Okay. Like this. And then let's see. So kind of wipe off. Okay, and then those glossy paper, once when you cover a coat of a color, that's it. You, no matter how much color you add on that, it's a seal. So if you don't believe me, let me try. Oh, this is not dark enough. That's used our London frog again. See? Even though this is a very dark color, but they can't absorb any more ink anymore. So the Chronicle paper is kind of clay coated. If you use knife to scratch on the surface, you can actually find out a little bit clay peel off. So the first color when you color it, the clay absorb. It's kind of like a drywall. They absorb all the ink, and then you won't be able to do, you know, add any color on top. So just be careful. So far, I have two different colors. They all done by the same material, MicroGlaze. I don't get paid by JudiKins. I'm doing this because I love Judy and Rob. They are really good friends of us. So my camera is gonna move. And I don't use other people's stamps and die cut because this is the channel that I create for local kings customer to view. But you're welcome to take a look, you know, all the ideas. But for the other stuff like the impact, the other like material, other tool, if I like it, I would like to share with my viewer. So this is the channel that you can find all the nice materials, stamping tips, great technician, and endless idea. So I'm going to be working on the last one. I don't even remember what was the pattern. So I have a two color. Like I say, my desert sand is a little bit dry. Okay, so I only apply a little bit color. Remember, I just mentioned if you color everywhere, you won't be able to add the second color. So in the middle, I use a lighter color, and on the side, ooh, this is kind of brown, kind of like a poop color. What they call? Toffee crunch. Okay, sorry, Memento. I don't mean any disrespect your product. Okay, and whoo, I love this color. Okay, so what do you think? Which one is your favorite? That's what this MicroGlaze is, and then I think they all pretty. I'm going to keep these three, and then later I'm going to use it to create the other tutorial. Okay. So one more thing, do you remember I was explaining to you, don't use too much MicroGlaze. If you use too much MicroGlaze, what's going to happen? Okay, let me show you. Okay, I'm going to apply some. If you don't, okay, so I'm going to just apply one side with a lot. Okay, and be careful your finger. So basically, I used the wrong side. Oh, that's good because I want to show you what to look on the regular cardstock. One stone, two birds. Okay, so I'm going to just use this brush. Color completely half sheets of my glossy paper. Okay, and then if you don't have this kind of coarse brush, you know, you can do whatever you like. Let's just use our finger. Okay, and then let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to use the poop color. Okay, and we're going to clean it. If you get a little bit more extra MicroGlaze on your glossy paper, don't worry, they will wipe out. So now you get it. Why I tell you, I explain, not tell you, that's rude. I explained to you why you don't have to, you cannot put a lot of MicroGlaze because you're going to end up to have like a white color. And this is the one I just use my finger kind of rubbing on top of that like a cardstock. It's kind of interesting pattern too, but you know what, be creative, try to have fun. That's figured out on the regular cardstock it work or not. So I don't know. Let's give a try. So I brush that side, right? So I'm going to just put it a little bit stroke. It's not work as well as on the you know, it doesn't really show the stroke. So that's just proof. If you want to working on this kind of techniques, you got to use a glossy paper. And so far at this moment, I know only this old chronicle, like a 5 years old plus chronicle will work. But you can try on the other people's glossy paper. It maybe work. So I'm going to working on a review for all the papers, because a lot of people always ask me what's the difference between macro cardstock, dual glossy cardstock, super glossy cardstock, regular cardstock, cooker cardstock, the watercolor cardstock, and the bristle cardstock. There's too many different kind of paper. What's different between all the different papers, and which paper is for which project. So that's today's tutorial, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I make you laugh, and if you pee a little bit, sorry. Okay, so this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. If you like my tutorial, remember, give me a thumb up, not the fingers, and I would love to hear from you. Please leave any comments, any reviews, and if you want to, you know, just help us to subscribe our YouTube channel and share this awesome company with your friend. Okay, so this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp, and see you next time.